ball into the 8 ball, and we know that the 8 ball is going to move away to the right with a speed of 1.3 meters per second, and we're trying to figure out how fast the cue ball goes after the collision. All of the numbers from the problem I wrote down here in this column, which is always a good idea to do. So I've got the mass of the cue ball, the initial speed of the cue ball, the mass of the 8 ball, the initial speed of the 8 ball, what I want, which is the velocity of the cue ball after the collision, and I have the velocity of the 8 ball after the collision. This is a conservation of momentum problem, so I know that the momentum of the cue ball plus the momentum of the 8 ball equals the momentum of the cue ball after they collide plus the momentum of the 8 ball after they collide. Now, to make our math a little bit easier, I know that initially the 8 ball is not moving at all, therefore it can't have any momentum initially, so I can just cross that out, make my life a little bit easier. When I expand what each of the momentums are, because momentum is mass times velocity, I get mass of the cue ball times velocity of the cue ball equals mass of the cue ball times velocity of the cue ball prime plus mass of the 8 ball times velocity of the 8 ball prime. And again, what we're looking for is velocity of the cue ball prime, so I'm going to do a little algebra to solve for that. First thing I've got to do is subtract my 8 ball term over to the left side. So I get mass of the cue ball, velocity of the cue ball, minus mass of the 8 ball times velocity of the 8 ball after the collision. That leaves mass of the cue ball, velocity of the cue ball prime on the right. Now I can divide by the mass of the cue ball, and then our algebra is done. So my left side remains unchanged in the numerator. And now I just have to divide that mass of the cue ball over, and that gets me velocity of the cue ball prime. Plugging in my numbers, I get 0.26 kilograms times 1.2 meters per second minus 0.15 kilograms times 1.3 meters per second. And that all gets divided by the 0.26 kilograms. And that will give me my V prime, or my velocity of the cue ball prime. And I'm out of room to write this down here on the bottom, so I'm going to write it on the left bottom corner, and I should get that the velocity of the cue ball after the collision is 0.45 meters per second. That's a positive 0.45 meters per second, so your cue ball would roll after the 8 ball, would continue to move toward the right.